Like, they don't come with a manual.
There we go. They look fucking cool, that's for sure. Oh, that's much better.
Roll it. All right. So. All right. Thank you all for coming to the first episode. This sounds really weird.
It does. You can hear yourself.
Yeah. I didn't even have a name for this, low key. Like, it's been on my brain for, I want to say a solid, 8 months. Like,
wow.
And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at home. I have microphones. I have all this shit. I would love to talk photography. And I sort of started doing it with Film Bros, right? And I was going to do it, but these fools are like working all the time. And
Yeah.
it's hard to get them. And then we started this. So this is Shopify LA, and we have a full podcast studio. And I was like, cool. I can rent it out, have my homies. And just happens that both of y'all were free.
Yeah.
So officially, the name as of now is Photography and Shit. Because really, I was going to name it something like super, push it 2 stops or something stupid. And I'm like, nah, man, photography to me is way more than just the photos. It's way more than just the gear.
Yeah.
Photography to me is community. Photography to me is art. It's expression. It's therapy. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's a place for us as photographers, as entrepreneurs, as people, as friends to come in together and really discuss photography and everything else. So photography and shit. Right?
I like it. I like it.
Thank you for coming on such short notice, and just go ahead and take a moment to introduce yourselves. Got the camera. Hopefully this will be on YouTube soon. And yeah, go ahead.
You can go first, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Williummm Andrade. I go by William, or Will for short. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I take photos and I do some video work too. But yeah, I've been photographing since I was 15. So 12 years now.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
What's your favorite thing to shoot?
So it's pretty cool because I was actually a musician. Well, I'm a musician, and that was kind of my first love. And I get to work with a lot of artists that I like. So it's kind of like a full circle thing. I'm in the music industry, but I'm on the media side of things.
Hell yeah.
So I'd say that's probably my favorite thing to shoot, just anything music related.
That's dope.
Yeah. We'll touch a little deeper on that. I have a couple questions for you too.
Yeah. My name's Dave. You can call me TheDavePhoto. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, primarily shoot film. But now that film prices are skyrocketing, I'll probably be switching to digital here pretty soon. I don't know if you guys saw or not that Kodak released their new price adjustment for next year.
22% or some shit.
Oh my god, it's insane. But yeah, so I've been shooting exclusively film for the last year and a half. And then before that, I was doing a lot of filmmaking in high school, and then right after high school, and then I took a big break. I was in the Army for almost 10 years and then a firefighter for 10 years. And actually a month ago, I quit my job and moved to LA, and here I am.
Yeah. That was another reason why I hit you up. Not only because I admire you as an artist and everything, and I thought it'd be a good mix, but also because I was you're new to the city. It'd be cool to finally meet you, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, like I said.
Yeah.
And really, link up with Will.
Welcome to LA, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dog. It's nice here.
Yeah, definitely. Just wait till you get sick of the traffic and the expensive gas. So for those of you listening, it's October 28th. Shout out to Marco. It's Marco's birthday. I wanted to say really quickly about film and film community. And I wanted to ask y'all, what is, other than film and work and the art, what has been the biggest, the thing that you've gained from photography, the biggest thing that you've gained? And I gained some of my best friends. I've gained friendships all along the way. Y'all, I've flown to Texas, I've flown to Austin, I've flown to a lot of different places, and I've linked up with photographers all over the country. And speaking of, it's Marco's birthday. After a really tough breakup, I realized I didn't have friends in LA. I've been living in LA, but I was just at home with her and everything. And all of a sudden, it's hey, I have to make friends. What's going on? I don't want to fall into a depressive episode, So I was hey, this guy has been following me for a while. I was complimenting my shit, and I hit him up. I was hey, I would love to learn how to shoot film. I had shot 2 rolls of film, and I was I want to learn. Sure enough.
We're talking about Contain Negatives, right?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, he's good.
I love it.
Hey, happy birthday, Contain Negatives.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I'll send this to him. I'll chop it up and send it to him today. So yeah, we just linked up downtown, and he was super cool and everything. And really quickly, the story of how we became, when I knew he was going to be a homie, is we were walking down Santee Alley. I was shooting a roll that digital shit, just spray and pray. And all of a sudden, this guy's on his 3rd frame. He's just walking, super calm, very, being Marco,
Yeah.
But the day you all hang out with him, y'all know. And all of a sudden, I'm just trying to learn from him, metering, shit like that. And then I look over, it's 3:30, and I was it's a hot day. It's 92. I need a beer right now. And then I was I don't want to be that guy. So he's just quiet. And then all of a sudden he turns around. He's hey, bro, you want to get a beer right now? And I was yes. Did we just become best friends? Sure enough, we hit up X Lanes, had a couple pictures, and we're just we hit it off ever since. And that was the day he changed his name from Imagine Is Real to Contain Negatives. the day we met 2 years ago.
Nice.
So, but what has been the biggest thing that you've gained from film or just photography in general?
For me specifically, what would be kind of to piggyback what you said with community, meeting some really cool people that just kind of approach life and approach each negative differently than you do, which is cool. For me, it's kind of tapped into a little bit more of my betterment of myself, and kind of figuring out what I want in this.
1 second. Sorry, let's go ahead and take a pause.
Just kidding, man. Just kidding.
No, dude, it's the first show.
These are legit though. These mics.
Dude, this
luckily,
whole setup's
luckily I remembered.
legit, dude.
Luckily, I remembered. I'm gonna have to redo your intro, Dave. I forgot to arm your mic for the first like 10 minutes because it was supposed to be you, and then I was like, oh, I'll turn on the third mic. Yeah.
If I could just pretend like it never happened.
Dan, so do you want me to introduce myself again?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
The video's still gonna be in sync, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna be like talking about 22%. They're like, what the fuck are they talking about? All right, so again, my name is David Pasilio. I go by TheDavePhoto on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Kind of got into film photography exclusively about a year and a half ago. Before that, I was doing pretty much nothing. I was working in the fire department and just kind of like playing around with cameras when I could, like here and there. But it all started back in high school when I was doing filmmaking, skateboarding, and that's kind of where it all took off. I took a big break when I was in the Army, and then eventually in the fire department, and now I basically quit my job to kind of pursue the creative industry in any capacity. So that's where I'm at now.
You got a big ass community behind you. So
yeah, thank you.
Speaking of that, you were talking about the biggest thing you've gained.
Oh yeah. So the biggest thing that I've gained is, to piggyback off what you said, is community. Meeting some of the coolest people I've ever met, like ever. It's insane. Like I've worked with a lot of cool people in the military and the fire department, but some of like the most genuine, down to earth people have just been people in the film community. It's honestly insane. They're so supportive, and it's really cool. And also, like, I've kind of gotten to know myself better and realize like that I'm capable of like some pretty creative stuff, like when I didn't think that I was. Yeah. So that ultimately has been like the coolest thing I've gained from film photography specifically, is kind of like learning like this old school approach at like expressing yourself and kind of like making it your own. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. And then obviously meeting people in the community is even better.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I wanted to, this applies to both of y'all. So this morning you posted that your photo just got featured on someone's album.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you. That was crazy, dude. That was so, dude, I literally like I dropped to my knees because I had shot this like 6 months ago, dude. And I just was about to take a shower to come here. And because I got back from the gym, I was getting ready to get in the shower, and like, I'm like, all right, let me find something to listen to. And I saw the photo and I was like, oh my God, I took that. Like, and I clicked, I was like, oh my, I was like, literally, I'm getting like chills just thinking about it. But it was crazy because they're like, you can't post anything from this. Like, so I've been just kind of like sitting on it. I don't even know what to post now, but that was just, I don't know, like tears of just like happiness. Like, holy shit. Like, you know, like that's the coolest moment ever. Like, I'm sure everyone's been featured somewhere and they're super excited, but for me, it was like such a last minute thing. Like the manager hit me up like, hey man, we like your stuff. We'd like you to do some stuff with this guy, Evan. And his name is Morgan Evans, by the way. And I was just like, sure, man. Like, yeah, let's do it. And I hadn't heard anything in 6-7 months. So I was like, okay, cool. And this morning just seeing, I was just like in shock, like super pumped. Like, it's not my best work, but I'm like, dude, that's just so cool, you know, like that my stuff is like on an actual album cover, and then like it's in all the sleeves and stuff. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's amazing, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw that, and I was like, man, this would be perfect talking point because Will also shoots artists.
Yeah.
So really quickly, there's 2 questions I kind of want to veer off, but my brain, of course, is like, oh, by the way, another name for the podcast that I was gonna name it was Photography Off the Meds. So I was just not gonna take my Adderall this morning, just like, you know, just like go off on a random shit. So let's see what I want to ask y'all first. I think, okay, I'm gonna do this. Both of y'all have shot artists. Well, that's what you do predominantly. You shoot a lot of really awesome. I'll let you drop the names, but you can go ahead.
Nah, you gotta drop the names, bro. I don't want to.
After I got all excited, I'm gonna feel like shit.
no shit on Dave.
Like, oh, this fucking rookie over here, Dave.
Nah, not even. Nah.
So Will has worked with people. You know, Okay, the biggest recently says, you know, you're talking to her, you know, Felly, you have Isaiah Rashad, which I admire and respect for years, and all of a sudden you're just hanging out with them in the studio, and I'm like, wow, like, crazy shit.
Wild.
So I'm like, tell the people at home listening to this who want to start shooting artists, who want to go ahead and start breaking into that industry, how did you get there? And I know you mentioned you had your history of being a musician and being in the music industry, but what kind of advice can you give them if they want to start shooting artists?
David starts to take notes.
I think first off is like, if you really want to get into that type of stuff, is like, you just got to keep your cool around it sometimes. Like, I feel like sometimes I've been around a lot of people, and it's just like, there's always that one person who's just like losing it around, and it's just like artists, they really don't want to be around that. I mean, most of them, you know, sometimes they're really nice, but also just like networking is just, I think here in LA, the biggest thing is networking, and like Dave said, like there's so much opportunity here that, and there's so many artists here that it's just like there's so much work to go around, and I feel like there's always that stigma here in LA that people are like snobby and it's just like so competitive, and it's true, but it shouldn't really be that way, because it's just so much work like here, and there's so much opportunity. But yeah, just networking, you know, just sometimes you just got to do work that you don't want to do, or just sometimes you're going to get underpaid, but you know, it might get you in that room with someone that you want to work with, and it's, you know, you just got to go hard. And you just got to stand out.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, I was going to say, really quick, who, I know you probably can't drop names, but who's been the worst to work with and who's been the easiest and best to work with? If you can't drop a name, just let us know what made it so bad.
Probably can't drop a name.
Yeah, like.
But I mean, it's usually
Can
like.
you tell us how many Instagram followers I have?
It's usually like the. Man, it's just I work with some pretty shitty rappers, and it's just like, well, luckily lately it's been like I've been working with like bigger clients, so it doesn't tend to happen like that anymore, because you're working with like a label.
Yeah.
But it does happen for sure. But I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great artists, and just they're really down to earth. Like SZA, I was just in the studio with her like a week or two ago, and
that's so dope, dude.
She's amazing. She's super nice. Like, I was like starstruck for a bit, and like she was so sweet, and she made me feel real comfortable, and yeah, it was great. ASAP Ferg was super nice too.
I remember those shots.
Yeah, he was actually I was a little intimidated by him, because sometimes working with artists at that level is just kind of intimidating, and especially when you're in the studio with them, and it's just like you don't want to be in their way. Like, you don't even want to talk sometimes, because you just don't want to like
just fly in the wall.
rub any. Yeah, you just don't want to rub him anyway. And then he was super cool. But yeah, I've been fortunate to work with a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You said something about keeping your cool, which I really
yeah, for sure.
because you keep it on the DL. Even like the text between you and SZA, like he's just like, yo, like very very low key, you know, like not just like doing it for the clout on his Instagram shit. And yeah, you keep it super super low key, and I think that's why one of the many reasons of your success, because you're able to be professional, keep it low key, people respect you, and people think you're hella cool. So having you in the corner of the studio snapping really dope shots is no big deal, you know.
Yeah.
And then also your work is freaking fire.
Thank you.
I think also with that real quick is like being able to like appreciate like what like how severe that situation is, like how big it is, you know, and like being able to keep it cool like that. That's cool, man. That's admirable.
And it's also like a matter of like building relationships with people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like I just work with Dom Kennedy, and I worked with him a couple times already, and like he posted a photo that I took, and he didn't tag me, which I don't care, to be honest. And people were like, oh, why didn't he tag you, this and that, and I'm just like, it's not even about that. Like like you guys, like it completely goes over your head. Like I think Steven Vanasco once said something about that I might be butchering it, but he said something around the lines that like you should he's like, I respect relationships that I make over getting a tag or a credit. And it's true, because at the end of the day, that's what they're going to remember you by. They're not going to be like, oh, he didn't tag me, this and that.
Yeah, you're not in for the clout either.
Yeah, it's just like at the end of the day, like he knows who I am, and like he knows I work with him, and like I respect that over getting tagged. You know, I'm not going to be upset. I got paid, so
Yeah.
You know?
And the same thing with me. Like, I had no idea that I was even dropping. Like, nothing. They post all over their Instagram. I was like, I had no idea this was happening until I just randomly saw it. So
out of the gym this
yeah,
morning.
yeah, just like, wow.
It's a double endorphin rush.
Yeah,
It's like,
so I'm just like, what?
so,
Same thing.
Dave, now that you've kind of you've been shooting people, I love your YouTube channel, by the way. Check out TheDavePhoto at in YouTube. Definitely check it out. I'll probably link it.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like and subscribe to my channel, and then I'll link it to his channel, and then we'll all.
It's nice when I don't have to like say that. Someone else can say it for
For
me.
sure.
It's
Like
so
shameless
good.
plug.
I got you.
So your channel is amazing. I love your content. I actually watch all of it. So
Thank you.
Like when I tell you, like, oh, I watched it. No, I like watched it.
Like, there's people like question. I like they'll ask me like stuff from like my video, and I'm like, you clearly didn't watch my video. Like I specifically said I pushed it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just like ask me, I'm like, why do I do this? I waste so much time doing this.
your stage is awesome. Your lighting is awesome. And then I'm looking at like, bro, like his video sometimes 100, 200 views. And I'm like, bro, this is A1 content. Like I take that over. Sorry to throw shade, but I take that over George and all the freaking the famous guys, except for like Nick Carver. That's my favorite. But what I mean is, I'd take your content over some of those crazy big guys. So on that note, your portraiture work is amazing. I've loved it. I love the vintage stuff. Who would you love to work with? Now that you're starting, you kind of got your foot into the whole artist world.
As far as artists go, I think Tyler, the Creator, would be really fun. I think he'd be dope. Mainly, I would really like to work with like, dude, I hate being put on the spot like that. Dude. It's so many options, man. You know. But yeah, Tyler Creator, I think just because like his mind and my mind, I think are so similar. Like stuff he posts, I'm like, that's so sick. You know what I mean? Dude. This is rough. This is hard. I
have a follow-up question too. So,
Pharrell too. Pharrell. Yeah. Because I mean,
Pharrell.
I grew up, you know, like jamming out to Nerd. You know, so I think Pharrell's dope. You know, that would be really cool. I think anybody, like, I'm just all about the opportunity. Yeah. I could make anything be really fun, and I think it would be a great opportunity, and it would be fun for me. So. I wouldn't be picky or choosy. If any artist, big or small, was like, hey, like even when Evan hit me up or his manager hit me up, I didn't know who he was, but it was still like the most fun I ever had. And it was cool meeting like an Australian country star. Like how many times do you get to do that? And just like, you know, Will was talking about where it's like the relationship that you make is more important than the tag. And it's very true. Like that day was just fun. Like we just walked around OB in San Diego and just talk shop. We drank beer like while we're shooting. Like
it's the best.
Yeah, we had June Shine. It was dope. So
they're regular people at the end of the day. Yeah.
You know, we talked about his wife. We talked about his dog and like where he lives and you know where he's going and. You know, we just formed a really cool relationship, and you know that's what I would like. I would like to form a relationship with anybody who would willingly want to form a relationship with me. That's fun with me.
At TheDavePhoto, hit him up. And want to build relationships.
Yeah, hopefully. I like relationships, man.
Tyler and Pharrell, they're watching this somehow.
Tyler be having some crazy, like his creative team is like insane.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've always noticed is just like how creative. I mean, obviously it's in his name, but I don't know. I just always he's always kind of stuck out, and not so much his music, just his personality and like his sketches, all that stuff. I think he's just a super cool dude.
TikToks are on.
Yeah.
So let me see. Well, you've worked with artists, of course. Who is like the greatest artist you can think like I can die now happy that I shot this person? And then I have a follow-up question really quick for both of you.
That I work with already?
No, that you would wish you could work with. Who's like your goat like to work with?
I kind of got to work with him somewhat. Like I shot a concert where he was performing Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, I was gonna say Kendrick.
Yeah, I think he's like. Dude. I mean, I'm born and raised here in Linwood, California, which is a small city right next to Compton and Watts. So it's like growing up, TD was always like my label of choice. Like they were like the most relatable. And Kendrick Lamar is obviously like everyone knows he's like the GOAT.
Yeah,
and
same. He's my GOAT for sure.
Yeah. So I've got to take some photos of him performing before like at concerts and stuff. And but I've never got to work with him one-on-one, which is crazy though, just because I know his photographer Parsons, and it's crazy because I actually shot the Christmas. They did the TD Christmas thing every year at the Nickersons, and I actually took this camera one time, and Parsons, Kendrick's photographer, that's how he kind of like. He started talking to me. He's like, "Oh shit! Like, what the fuck? Like, you're shooting on an RZ, like out here, bro. Like," and he was just playing with it, and then it caught his eye, and then he was like, yeah, dude, if like if I ever need like help or anything, I'm gonna hit you up. And like he followed me, and kind of like I was like, yo, like I'm one step closer.
Wait for it, bro.
Yeah, because I know Kendrick's very like particular with who he works with, and Parsons been his tour photographer for like as far as I can remember. But basically I work with everyone on TDE, so he's basically like the only one who I haven't worked with, so I'm just hoping it happens one day.
You're fostering those relationships, and everything is gonna line up. You're just gonna wait for that call. You're gonna get that text from Kendrick, like yo, this is Will, like yeah, who's this, like this is the GOAT, like
it's wild. It's a small world, to be honest. Like I always tell people, it's like it's not as big as it seems. Like it's crazy. Like the relationships you can make out here is insane.
Yeah, exactly.
You had anything to say? You good?
You kind of, I mean, so I've only been out here a month, and it's crazy the amount of work that I've picked up just by like meeting somebody on one set and then working on another set. Like I did a BTS like photo shoot for a commercial, and while I was there was another photographer who had a shoot later that week for a pretty big client, and I just hopped on board and helped him assist and all, and it just kind of like led me to meet other people. So like
snowballing.
Yeah, one person turned into like 10 people contact that I got. So, I mean, just exactly what he was saying, man. It's just like the only way you can be successful here is if you're just like a shitty person. Like I will take like a really cool person like with like no talent than like a really great artist and like a shitty person, dude. Because just talking shop, like just BSing with people on set or like like in the studio is like where it's at, dude. That's where you make your money. That's where you make contacts. That's where like you progress your career forward, whether it's in filmmaking or photography or just like as like even like a tattoo artist.
Anything creative for sure.
Yeah, anything creative. I feel like just networking is like, dude.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier when we were talking about networking really is key in the creative world, especially when you're freelancing and you don't know where your next meal is going to come from.
Exactly.
That's super imperative. That's why you got to take, like Will was saying, that take gigs sometimes that are shitty pay. Sometimes you don't get paid at all. To an extent, of course. So exposure bucks, are only so valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But
that's why I've asked you like for a job all the time.
And yeah, so definitely networking. Yeah. And so the follow-up question was, if you could shoot anybody that is no longer with us.
Ooh,
yeah,
like that's a good one.
Yeah,
I think I know who.
Same. You go ahead.
It's probably the same answers I have.
I don't know. Maybe.
What is it?
For me, it'd probably be like Jimi Hendrix.
That's sick.
I'm a Biggie fan.
Biggie would be dope.
I go Biggie.
Okay, for sure.
I think someone like Frank Sinatra would be dope.
Ooh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra or like, shit. Even oh, god dang, what is his name? I'm blanking on his name now because you both are looking at me right in the eyes.
Through the shades.
I should have kept my shades on.
Yeah, I just remembered that I should put the cameras this way. Yeah, I messed up.
Whatever.
Next one I'll get better.
The next one.
Better cinematography next time, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so when we'll look at you, let him think.
God, what is his name? Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Thank you, man. I don't know why I was blanking. It's definitely weird with cameras and a podcast. You feel like more people are watching, and the light just. But yeah, I think he. I don't know. Growing up, I really, really idolized him as like a person, and he was. I would say him and like Robin Williams are the only like actual celebrity deaths that didn't impact me, but I kind of felt, you know what I mean? As someone who battles like with mental health issues and, substance abuse in the past, it's been like kind of eye-opening when things like that happen to like people that you respect, that you don't know, but you respect their game, you know? So those two would probably be one of my top two favorites to photograph, like Robin Williams just being like quirky, like in black and white, with like a, something cool like that. And then, Heath Ledger would be sick just because him in like a Knight's Tale, like type, like setup, like wearing like a Knight's gear or even just like, just all rangy from like his Joker days. I think that would be sick. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do.
That'd be epic if you could like go back in time and be the BTS for Joker, catch him in his hotel room, like, and as messed up as it sounds, but in that state of vulnerability, really, when he is going through all that in the hotel room by himself, just working on the character, and he's so in it. That imagine being able to be a fly on the wall, just seeing him like sitting at the edge of his bed with the windows open, something super dark with like Tri-X or something, something like that would be epic. Or like the or maybe in full makeup or halfway through his makeup. You know, dude, that'd be
because I mean, he did all that himself, and like
Yeah.
even like Michael Caine in that movie, like the first time he saw Joker, like he stopped. He didn't even say his line because he got so terrified just because of the presence that he brought on set. That would be something very magical to catch. Like obviously we saw a whole movie of it, but to see it like in a single frame, I think would be just really fun to do.
And Biggie would be for me for sure. He's Biggie, or you were talking about celebrity deaths. Anthony Bourdain meant a million things for me. As a kid, I've told this to Instagram, or those of you watching it who have not heard the story. As a kid, I grew up in a very small town, not a lot of money. We never really traveled. Never got on a plane until I was 24. So I've always dreamt of flying, getting out of my town, being from a very small town. But I would watch Travel Channel, Discovery Channel, Food Channel, all those things, and I would see Anthony Bourdain. I would see all these Andrew Zimmern, you know, really like going out and exploring Japan, exploring all these countries, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that someday. Yeah, I'm gonna make enough money where I can go ahead and just fly where the fuck I want.
I saw you went to Chicago last week?
Yeah.
Just on a whim.
Yeah.
That was sick, dude.
Chicago, and then New York I did for 2 weeks.
Because we were going to do something, and then you're like, well, I may go out of town. Yeah. And it's like, since I've been here, which is like a month ago, you've gone out of town like 4 times. I'm like, yeah, dude, does this guy live here?
No, that's nice.
That's sick, though, man.
And it's honoring my inner child of like, I told my inner child, I was like, yo, I promised myself when I was young that when I'm older, I'm going to go ahead and travel and explore. And Anthony Bourdain plays such a huge role. He's actually the reason I got here to LA watching Parts Unknown, one of his episodes of Parts Unknown. Yeah. Seeing him with Dave Cho and Dave Chang when he came down to LA, and I was like, I'm going to go to LA. And then I booked the trip, not flying, but I drove out here at the time. I started making a little money, started, you know, rental cars, and enough money to, you know, take a vacation at 23. I was 23 maybe. And I came out here and I met a girl. And we hit it off, and next thing you know, 6 months later, I moved to LA.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm still, it's been 8 years and I haven't met a girl, so kudos
welcome to LA, bro. We're no longer together, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me, her, and also just coming to LA. Yeah. But I think it's crazy. Definitely.
Yeah. I have a similar story with, like, I loved Anthony Bourdain. He is like such an impact on me as well. He's one of those celebrity deaths that kind of hit me, and he actually inspired me to go to Japan. And it's just Japan was never one of those places that I was never really into for some reason. It was just never something. It was nothing that I thought I'd ever like want to go to. Yeah. And I remember I watched one of his episodes, and it just was like unreal. And I was like, I gotta go there. Yeah. And me and a few of my photo friends, like 4 or 5 years ago, we decided to take a 2-3 week trip out there, and it was amazing. Oh yeah. And I think part of it was like I got to thank Anthony Bourdain, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have gone.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting here. Yeah. I would have never taken photography, because that girl I met inspired me. She was shooting, and I told her, I've always wanted to shoot cars, and she told me, Why haven't you started? Why haven't you picked up a camera? And I told her, I don't have enough money. And she's like, she called me out on my bullshit. She literally say bullshit every time I call you. In the time that we're kind of dating or long distance, she's like, every time I call you, you're at the bar. How much money are you spending on alcohol? And I was like, fuck.
Touche. And tacos.
Sometimes you just gotta hear it.
Yeah. And she called me out so hard, and I was like, fuck. So I did the math. I was spending $600 a month on bar tabs, and on top, and food on top. And I was like, all right, this girl's amazing. She really inspired me to really chase what I want to do. Next paycheck, first thing I did, I grabbed, I think it was $200. I went to the pawn shop. I caught a Canon T1i, the first T1. Yeah. Right? T1i, and I started shooting and never looked back.
The Rebels.
Classics. Yeah. The first Rebel, right? Well, not the first Rebel, because the Rebel.
Class.
Yeah, but the T series.
I had the T3.
I had the T7.
Everyone starts with a T. Yeah. Well, if you're a Canon boy.
Yeah.
Fuck Nikon, by the way.
If you're watching this and you ever DM me, I want to buy a camera. Yeah. There's the answer. Yeah, Canon Rebel series.
That's what I say. I just say go to Target. You just buy the Canon kit, dude. $500, and that'll get your blood flowing.
Yeah, aperture, shutter speed, get learning all that good
stuff.
Learn
that exposure triangle, bro, and then move on from there, man. Then you can work on lenses and all that other shit. Yeah.
So yeah, then 6 months after the long distance dating, I kind of like practice here. She would fly, I'd fly, and then it would just be like back and forth. I moved here, and then I was like, finally, I'm in LA. I've always wanted to shoot lowriders. I started shooting lowriders. I got into that. Next thing you know, it snowballed. Now I'm here.
Next thing you know, I'm wearing your T-shirt with
oh shit,
with your photo on it.
That's sick.
Look at that. Thanks, brother.
Now I gotta get one.
For sure.
I'm not wearing a Born Dead shirt. Don't worry.
I'll Photoshop. Run me to Photoshop one of my photos.
This is not a paid ad.
Yeah. So, talking about our sponsors, this is sponsored by Shopify LA. At least editing is. Thank you, Shopify.
Shout out Shopify.
An e-commerce platform where you can sell anything from whether you're starting a lot of streetwear brands, or if you're shooting, I don't know, lotions, anything really. You want to start an online brand, Shopify is here to help you out. This wasn't planned. I wasn't planning on giving them a shout out, but
you're good.
I work here, and it's been the best 3 years of my life. And this is the new podcast studio, so it'd be a great opportunity for us to test it out. So let me know what you think afterwards. And we're talking about cameras. We started talking about cameras and T1Is, all that good stuff. So I went from a T1 to a 70D. I had 2 of those stolen from my car, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go full frame. Shooting on a 60 Mark II now. Shout out to everyone who helped me out with that GoFundMe, because we lost, I was broke, no job, and they hooked me up with money to buy that.
Nice.
That's kind of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I got into film, started with a FTB, and it just snowballed.
I still have my FTB.
Yeah. So
Noob. Who leaves their camera gear in their car? Noob.
Exactly.
Joe Greer. William Vanderbeek.
Yeah, all those.
But they were traveling though, so that's an exception, you know. I felt so bad for them.
Dude, that was brutal. Yeah.
Man.
It happened to JP too.
Oh yeah, JP. Yeah.
No, but we hooked them up though. JP definitely. I'm glad we were able to come together. That's what I love about the film community.
JP actually just sent me a large format camera
What?
that he wants me to use for my channel.
Hell yeah.
So it's still in the box. Sorry if JP watches. I'm sorry, man. It's 4x5 film Portrait 160 has been a nightmare to acquire, and I finally got it. So I'm gonna try and film a cool little episode shooting large format 4x4 that JP provided me.
Dude, JP's a shit. If you ever get to meet him in person, he's a gem of a person. Shout out JP, Hanfan, everybody, the San Francisco crew.
Yeah.
We contained actually a year ago today. Actually, we went for Marco's birthday.
Oh,
so we
sweet.
were in San Francisco. We hung out with Shashori. Yeah, so we were with Shashori. We were with JP. We were with a bunch of people out there, and he hooked me up with a handle with the right grip that he 3D printed.
Really?
He 3D printed one. He shipped it over.
That's
and
sick.
I was like, dude, that's just JP for you.
He's so sweet, dude. That guy's he's such a gentleman.
He's
I
awesome.
love that guy, dude.
I want to keep talking about film photography, the community and the friends that we've met, but I do want to kind of segue into the cameras before we forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about cameras, I went digitally. I started with an FTB. Now it's snowballed. I have maybe 15 cameras. You saw this stack of point and shoots on my floor that I posted last night.
I need one of those.
Yeah. Well, I need to test them, so if you want to help me test them, for sure.
You should have brought someone who could have just had like a test.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just like, here, just shoot around. So I had you bring your favorite camera. So, Will, what'd you bring?
You know, I had to bring out the big tank, the Mamiya RZ67. Has a little bit of mods on it, so my mic's cutting off. Yeah.
There you go.
But I brought the RZ67. I've had it for a few. I got it before it went crazy, so I got a good deal on it, and I've had it since. And it's one of those cameras that I told myself I'll never sell, ever.
Yeah.
And luckily I haven't to this point. If you ever see me selling this, it's because I'm probably that's my hood bankruptcy. Like,
no. At that point, if I see an ad if I see on your story, you're like, yo, RZ for sale. Text him, bro. Like, are you okay, bro?
You're gonna have to give me a job.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
It'll be all hands on deck.
Yeah,
try and coerce him to keep it.
It's like, you cannot do that.
Yeah, I got this for a bargain, and I think this kit is worth like
$3,000
triple now what I got it for. Yeah,
probably, dude.
It's crazy.
Is that the 80 or?
It's the 110.
Oh, the 110, got it.
It's the holy grail of the camera.
Yeah, I have the 127 on my RB, which is so close. But because I love shooting close portraits, so with the bellows, I can get like super difficult.
Yeah. That's basically like that's the reason this camera sold me. But yeah, it's a beautiful camera. I don't use it as much as I used to be honest, just because with 120 film, like I hate lab scans for 120. I gotta scan my own. For some reason,
you don't have the time,
and I don't have the time.
Exactly.
I just don't. So it's been neglected lately. But
damn, poor child.
I'm gonna use it soon. I brought a roll with me today, so I might get some photos in later today.
Hell yeah,
nice.
What about you, Dave?
So I brought in my Pentax 6.7.
Woo, Pentax crew.
Dude, and it's got the 105 2.4 on it, which is
magical.
The holy grail.
If you guys watch my YouTube channel, I say it all the time. I'm a bokeh bitch, and this gives the best bokeh ever. I actually got this from Nathan Bowerman on Twitter, but the handles are actually custom made from Russia from this guy. Huge shout out to him. I try and pass everyone down to him. His name is Pimp My Pentax on Instagram, and he like handcrafts these and gets them out to you super quick. And he does everything. He does like wood for all of it. He's super sick. But I started off my medium format career with an RB. And then I jumped and got a Mamiya 7, which I fucking hated. I hate rangefinders, dude. You'll never catch me shooting rangefinders. And I actually sold that and got this and an RZ. And then obviously that's how me and Jork kind of like got together. Was I bought his Hasselblad 500C off him, and I hated it. I don't know if it's just because like I just am like such a creature of habit, and like it's so different than like my Mamiya's RZ, and I was just like, I'm going back.
Yeah.
So now I just have this one in my Mamiya RZ, and that's about it.
Hell yeah. You talk about your gateway drug, right, to a medium format.
Yeah.
Was RB.
No, what's crazy is, so I didn't even shoot 35 millimeter. Like I went straight to medium format. I just bi-tracked all of them, was like, I'm going. And then I also like went straight from, like when I developed my own film, I went color. I didn't even do black. I was terrified to do black and white. That's the easiest thing to develop. Yeah. But color, is like I love developing my own color stuff. Black and white, I still like have trouble with. I don't know why. It's so easy, dude.
I was gonna say it's usually the other way around. Like,
yeah, exactly, dude. And I don't know if it's just like my brain. I just like to skip steps. My dad says I like to learn things the hard way, and that's probably
in Spanish we say "a chingazos aprendes."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't. You speak Spanish a little bit, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. I think I asked you that before. But yeah, it means you learn by when life gives you hits, or just like hit, like when hits.
Yep.
Like when you fuck up, basically.
Yeah.
You learn by fucking up.
Yep.
That's why they say that my little brother, my baby brother, is the cutest because my dad's like echando a perder se aprende. It means like fuck, we fucked up twice, and now the third one we got it right.
Nice.
So my favorite camera in the world, and I don't know why, it's still, I'll come back to it. Minolta SRT 101, broken light meter. I got this. I don't remember where I got this actually. It's a tank. It is minty. I love it, and I beat my shit up. Like that sounds wrong, but I really like. I mean, I'm not careless or anything like that, but like I don't care for mintiness if it works. Right, it's good. And I just realized actually, my shit is pretty fucking minty. Like I've been seeing some Pentaxes that are like all brassed up, and I'm like, both my Pentaxes are like top mint, like straight up. Anyways, love this thing, and then the main reason I love it is the 51.4. Yeah. The bokeh, the sharpness at f5.6 and f8. Yeah. Unparalleled. And a lot of the stuff that sometimes people
I've never shot that high.
Bokeh bitch.
I keep mine down at the bottom. 2.8 always. Nah, just kidding.
Mr. F16 over here with a 400 shutter speed or some shit. I hate those things because that's why I love the 1000.
Yeah, exactly. Because I shoot midday, so it's perfect. And shooting at such a high aperture, like, dude, you have
shoot some 50D or something,
exactly. And dude, actually, it's crazy. I hate Cinestill 50D. Don't even get me started on that. I actually like made this Twitter like post, but I haven't posted it yet because I want to wait till Christmas or Halloween, where it's like someone unwrapping fucking like a lollipop, and it's like check your candy, and then it's just Cinestill 50D, and it's like it's fucking garbage.
It's overrated.
It is, but I brought Cinestill 50 or Cinestill 800T because that's my favorite. I love Cinestill 800T. I love it. It's just so clean.
It's magical.
I don't know what happened with 50D. It just looks so just like mauve.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's nothing.
It's normal. It looks almost.
It's basically like a log file. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
It looks like a log file that you can't do anything with. I'm like, it's lame, dude.
Okay, videographer over here.
I've only shot it once.
What is it? H224, whatever.
Shooting that seed log.
So this is my favorite thing. And since I love shooting at 1.4 or 2.0 sometimes, my favorite film, now we're transitioning to film. Yeah. Really, Pro Image 100. I love that thing. And then, I've been shooting a lot of color plus 200, so low ISO. That way I can shoot fast.
Love color plus.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to roll that in my point and shit right now.
Same actually. I have my stylist still from Mexico that I dropped in the water. I think I told y'all.
I saw that, bro.
I got pushed into the pool, bro.
Yeah, I'm surprised it still works. What a trooper.
And my Sekonic, dude. My Sekonic and my stylist, and it took 2 days of drying, and hopefully they both work because they turned on finally.
My AirPods, my AirPods, my new ones, I washed them. Like I just put them in my pants and I washed them, and surprisingly they work great. So technology.
Right.
So, speaking of favorite cameras and favorite film, we started the conversation a bit about. For those of you listening and not watching, Dave is holding a Cinestill 800T
and then some Portra 160, which is like nice. People hate Portra.
I hate it, bro. I fucking hate it. How do you get color? I can't get good color out of it.
It's so good, dude. How do you not get color?
Well, because you overexpose by 3, I bet.
I do overexpose. So my goal whenever I shoot, and when people shoot with me, and they're trying to like. Either like pick something up. I always say like when you're shooting, like you're trying to catch your light or read your light. I always say you take that base and just fucking overexpose it by 1. So like if it's saying here like I'm shooting at 1,000 and then 2.4 and then 160, I'm gonna be
500.
Exactly. It's exactly that's what I do. I'm like, hey, a stop isn't gonna kill it, but I guess with that you kind of learn which films can take stops, because there's some that can't, and you can see it in the negative. You're like, I pushed that thing too far. It looks gross. And then there's some that don't. And I think Volandez, you guys are probably familiar with him. He's notorious at overexposing, and he does it like on another level.
I think like every film photographer is that, like all the YouTube photographers, they all push it at least a stop.
Yeah, you have to. I think you just have, because you can, because I mean it's so forgiving. Like you can't bring up the shadows. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember that when you posted that, I was like, dude, that's so sick, dude.
That was 3 over, I think, or 2 over, because I had to get under his hat.
Yeah, you have to, man, because it is so forgiving. Yeah, it looks great, dude. That's so clean.
And that's what I'm talking about, the sharpness. People are like, is that medium format? I was like, nah, it's 35. And they're like, how do you get so detailed for 35? I was like, it's my lens.
Yeah.
This
it's
lens
all glass,
is
dude.
magical.
And people tell me, like, what camera? And I'm like, dude, the camera is like, it's good, but it's all about the glass. That's why I'm so obsessed with the 105 2.4.
Love that thing.
It's just really great glass. And then I also have, for my Mamiya RZ, is the 80 3.5. And that is actually, which ironically I bought from Volandez. It's crazy. It's such a small, it's a small world, like we keep talking about. But it's the glass, you know what I mean? So like I'll have one body and then 15 lenses, because I think each, lens has its own purpose, and people are like, oh, it's not about the gear. In a lot of ways it is. Like the glass, there's no replicating good glass, dude.
Yeah. No editing, no amount of, the body or the shit, the film. So segueing really quick, Will still has to answer your favorite film.
Okay.
What is it?
Well, I'm sponsored by Kodak, so I gotta say Kodak. Hey. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored.
Sponsor him.
They do follow me though on Instagram though, shit. So I gotta for sure say, like, as fucking basic as I sound.
How did that feel when, like, waking up and seeing that follow?
I was wild. I don't know, whoever's out there in Kodak, whoever fucks with me, I love you, because they're always like on my live, and like they pop in and say hi and like show love.
Sick, dude.
And you say you're basic, so you're gonna say Portrait 400.
Yeah. Portrait 400. That's my go-to. It's just like it doesn't miss, and like I can push it, I can pull it. Like,
yeah, Dave.
Never
400 crew. Right?
But I brought a shout out, one of my buddies gave me some portrait for some 400H Pro, which I hate on 35 millimeter, but I love shooting 120. For some reason, it's just so much nicer on 120.
I still have to get those photos of me from you.
I never sent. The film ones.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. My bad. I totally forgot about that.
So
I gotta get this to you.
Now it prompted another question in my mind. Really quickly, your dream film. Give me the speed, or maybe it's not made in a certain format. So for me, for example, I would love
Kodak Gold.
I would love Color Plus in 120.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you give me Color Plus in 120, I'd be the happiest man alive.
Yeah.
What would it be for you?
I would really like Kodak Gold 200 on medium format would be sick, or some Portrait 160 VC, like constantly coming back on the shelves.
Gotcha.
That is such a like rare stock to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are probably two of my favorite stocks.
I'd probably go with like the Color Plus on medium format. Would be crazy.
Yeah.
Like
that would be crazy. Yeah.
Those tones are so nice.
Yeah.
Or maybe bring back some Superior 1600.
Yeah.
Steven Vanasco gave me a roll of that, and it's just been sitting in my fridge because like I just don't want to use it.
Or Natura, the 3200. I think it's 1600 Natura.
That's what That's actually what I meant. Natura 1600. Yeah. He gave me I bought him a sandwich.
$50, bro.
Dude, I bought him a sandwich one time, and he's like, "Oh, here's this roll," and I was like, "Dude, like I'm never gonna shoot this because like I don't ever want to because it's just like so expensive."
Yeah, for sure. It's like $50 nowadays.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and it looks so good though. Like if they were to bring that back, it would be crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. You're actually no. I'll do the trip one. I asked this for the Film Bros. For those of you who watched the Film Bros episode, you're gonna go. I give you a blank check. You can go on a trip anywhere in the world. It can be a country. I might extend it to a continent. So give me where you would go, what camera you would bring, what lens you would bring, an unlimited stock of one single film stock. So you can only choose one film, one camera, one lens.
Okay.
And then give me the location.
I got it. Do you got it?
Nah.
I got it.
Okay.
So I would bring surprisingly, actually no, I'd bring this one because I think it'd be really fun. So I'd go to Japan and I'd want to be in one of their nicer districts. I've never been to Japan, so like when you talked about Japan, I was like, ugh, oozing because I
with
want
that Sinister,
bro, dude, and you son of a bitch, and I'm gonna bring Sinister 800T, and I'm taking. It's cliche, but I just the first thing that popped in my head because Japan's my dream destination. I've always wanted to go, and I always want to shoot those neon lights, and I want that remjet layer. You know what I mean? I want to see what that looks like.
What lens?
I want those flares.
So actually, I would say my 105, but I actually have
you need to go wider.
I have this 55, dude, that hits so hard.
I have that one. Is it a 3.5 or 4.0?
It's the 3.5.
I have the big one, the big element. I have that one too.
Nerds,
it's crazy.
Dude, it's so big, dude. It's huge. Like when I bring it out, dude, people are like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, it looks like a fisheye lens. It does.
Yeah,
that's how big it is.
But it's a 24 or 28 or something like that.
You can't even put anything on it. So like, because I shoot a lot with like the Prism FX or the Prism Dream filter that kind of like softens it with those highlights.
It's like a ProMist basically.
Yeah, basically, and it's not as harsh because ProMist are pretty harsh. And I can't find any that fit. Is that guy ProMist?
Yeah, it's ProMist quarter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tiffin boys out here though. Shout out.
Sponsor
trying
us.
to get the sponsors.
But yeah, what's yours, big guy?
That's a good question. I'd probably take a medium format camera too, because I'm fucking a savage like that.
Yeah.
I took this bad boy when I went to Italy and carried it around for like 2 weeks.
Dude, can we
And my
travel?
back
I want to
hurt.
travel with you, dude.
Yeah, man, let's do
Go to
it.
Japan.
I love
I just
traveling.
need to find dog sitters, dude, and I'm down.
I know. I have a dog sitter. I got one too.
There you go.
There you go.
I got a dog too.
This is a 3-for-1 right now.
Yeah, but
Sorry to
I don't
interrupt
know.
you.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're speaking about travel.
Yeah.
You know I'm freaking down.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So y'all say travel. You tell me when. I say when.
I'm actually-
Bro, I
yeah,
quit
I'm
my
driving
job
up
so that I
north.
could travel. All right.
Oh
so
yeah.
So
I'm a travel head. I love to travel.
hell yeah.
so
But
you say
somewhere
medium format. Yeah.
I'd probably take a medium format camera. Maybe like I'd probably take a Pentax 6.7 just because it's like the form factor is a little smaller.
Yeah, and it's so ergonomic. Dude, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this thing, I just hold by the handle, dude. And it's
Same.
That's the one
I'm
thing I
walking all day, dude.
miss about my Pentax is it's just a lot easier to carry and just
or a 645 would be dope too.
That's true.
Contacts.
Yeah, well, I like the Mamiya 645, not the newer
I
ones,
had one and I
but the
sold
more
it.
mechanical ones,
Yeah.
dude.
I've never shot a 645 to be honest.
I hate it. I hate it so
Yeah?
much, dude. It's so gross. But you can kind of work your way around it if you shoot it more portrait.
See stuff like that. It's just
a big 35, really. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
all it
loved
is,
it,
yeah.
but it felt it didn't feel fun.
Yeah.
It felt very clinical. And anytime anything feels clinical, like too easy, I don't like it. It has to have quirks. It has to have like flares and character.
Yeah.
My Mamiya 645 was too clinical. Like
But
that
those
lens,
15 frames though.
Yeah, for real.
That you can't.
that's true.
Yeah.
I don't care though. Like I'll shoot. Like I think when I went to Italy, I shot like 20 rows of 120 and like 10 rows of 35. I was shooting so fucking much, and like to this day is like some of my favorite photos. But I don't know where I would go, to be honest. Maybe somewhere crazy, like somewhere in the Middle East or something like that, because I've never been out there. So
And to like add on to that, I spent 14 months in Afghanistan, and it's gorgeous. Like such a beautiful country, dude. Like
for sure,
like flying over all their fields and like their like wadi systems, dude.
Yeah,
that's a really cool place to be, dude.
Something like that. Something that's just like out of the norm. But I'm trying to go to New York maybe next month, just to do some street photo, just to get that itch out of me.
I almost booked a flight yesterday.
Let's do it.
November 10 to 13.
Let's go to the 17th.
Yeah, well, yeah. I only have 10 to 13.
Damn it.
And I have some points on Alaskan, so I might do that. And I just got back in July.
I want to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm trying to just go just to work and shoot and stuff.
Like
Broadway in spring. There's always little pockets of photographers. They're in the corners. So total amateur hour. I forgot these have a 30-minute recording time.
Oh.
So, but everything's good on the audio, so we'll get the audio. But yeah, I fucking forgot that.
Wow. What do you mean 30 minutes recording time?
Yeah, it's Canon. It's a
when
Canon
you shoot 4K, sometimes like.
Well, I have a EOS 5 or EOS R, and I could shoot all day. I think I have. My card goes up to 45 minutes. I want to say.
I think it's a setting with the older ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, 60s.
Oh okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we missed maybe 10 or so minutes, was no big deal.
Oh.
You're good.
You could have just like paused it. Did you pause it and just do another one, or is that it?
No, I just re-recorded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just did another 30-minute clip.
Okay, cool.
But the audio's all good. Luckily, your mic's on. I can see it moving. So we only have about 25 more minutes. We have to be out here at midday just because I have a meeting in here.
You're good.
They're gonna work on better soundproofing and stuff. So hopefully next time if we come down, we'll be able to like have better audio and stuff. And then obviously I won't fuck up on the mics.
I'm just honored to have been on the first one.
Yeah, of course.
I was like when you asked me, I was like, why are you asking me, dude? Like there's way better photography.
and not to what is it? Not to throw more praise, I guess. But not. I'm not trying to make you feel better because you already feel great.
Yeah.
But y'all are literally the only two people I hit up. You weren't a B choice, a C choice. It was like I actively hit you up because I told you I wanted to do this before, and I actively hit you up as well.
Yeah.
And the third person I hit up, I was like, who else would be a perfect mix? Because I knew I had a third chair. So I was like, the only person I can think of that can kind of fit into this mix was Marty, Six Tiff.
Oh, yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I don't know. I've seen his stuff.
Yeah, actually was featured on a magazine, These Streets magazine, a few months ago, and my boy Marty was on there too, and it was cool. We had like a small gallery in LA, and then Williummm pulled up, Linus pulled up. It was cool. Good times.
Oh yeah, I love the community, man.
Yeah, it's
that's
cool.
crazy. Yeah,
it was great times.
He was that's the third person I hit up, but it was more of a not, I don't want to say afterthought, but it was like cool. I got my two homies said yes, cool, Simon.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I have a third chair, and I was like the only person that I thought there's plenty of people, but I was like, who would be down to like come down with y'all and be a good addition? I hit him up and he's like, dude, I got to work all day, and I was like, So, Marty, if you're seeing this,
I mean,
it like that, bro.
I would have loved to have met him too, because I've heard nothing but great things about him. I actually saw him on, what was it? It was that it was like a commercial for Tropic.
The Tropic FX.
Yeah.
For the Prism.
Yeah.
He does a lot of their work for
dude,
a lot of their photos.
I love that.
So when I first, I couldn't even put a picture of him, dude, because I've never seen it, and I was like, oh, he looks like what? Like not even what I would think, like big gauges and stuff. But like he is sick, dude. Like especially because he shoots with his RZ. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
Who's that on the right?
That's No Face. That's his girlfriend.
Oh, is it cool? Yeah, and so and plus I'm kind of like I would say like a guerrilla filmmaker. I came out here to make film. So yeah, I heard he's incredible at making. He's got a really good eye for that. So
yeah, well he shoots for Williummm.
Yeah,
he does a lot of the video for them.
Yeah.
So
I think he like took his channel to the next level, like as far as visually.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because like Williummm is great.
But he used to do his stuff like on a cell phone, dude.
Yeah.
If you look at his older stuff, dude, it's all on a cell phone.
Yeah. So Williummm actually was the reason why I bought this camera. Like, and then I actually got to like.
He sold it too, man. Did you
really?
see that?
No
yeah.
way.
He just sold it yesterday.
I actually got to thank him in person when I went at the gallery, and I pretty much told them, and I was like, "Yo, like you're the reason why I started shooting medium format." I'm sure he gets that a lot, but it's cool. It's crazy, like how influential people can be nowadays.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Really quick, why haven't you started a YouTube channel? Is it just something?
I do have a YouTube channel, to be honest, but I don't post.
Okay. Same with me. Well, this is gonna be the first post in months.
But I've been thinking about starting a podcast too, because I have a lot of cool friends.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? Like, it's just like I like talking to people, and then like I have a platform to do it on. But the reason why I haven't done YouTube is just I don't have the time for it lately. Yeah. It's just been so busy.
It's so much time, dude. So much work goes into that for one video, dude.
Yeah, and then like I'm kind of like a perfectionist, so like I'll film some stuff and then it just be like, nah, it's not perfect. I can't put it out.
I've scrapped so many YouTube videos for the exact reason. I'm like, it's just lame, dude. But I will, and not to like kind of like take this on another direction and talk about like influences. Peter McKinnon, who doesn't shoot a lot of film, was kind of one of my biggest influences in like starting a YouTube channel, because he preaches like it doesn't need to be perfect, just get it done. You know what I mean? Like done is better than perfect.
That's what I do.
At the end of the day, that's all it is. And there's a lot of times where I have to tell myself that on like anything that I produce, like I produced
his co-host. What's his name?
Maddie.
Yeah. He's the one that kind of taught me that too. He's like, just put it out, man.
Yeah, just put it out. Because I mean, honestly, it's better because I mean, how many eyes see it, and people are like, dude, it's really good. Like my stuff. I think my YouTube channel is crap, but I try and make it better in the smallest way. Just
it's not.
Don't listen to
him. But anyways, it's sometimes I just have to tell myself that when I go to post and I'm like sitting there like. And I watch it because I watch it so many times while you're editing it. You're just like, God,
that's what it is.
Yeah, dude.
Done is better than perfect.
Exactly.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. So y'all are perfectionists, or y'all are really hard on yourselves. I am too, to an extent. I'm more of a like, I'll post something and then I'll take it down sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I see you do that, dude.
Yeah, so I'll do that sometimes. I'm like, nah, but it's not maybe not on brand or not giving the right message sometimes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the quality of the work, I take authenticity over everything. Yeah. So for instance, like the Film Bros videos, super simple intro, like the transition sucked, the audio wasn't great, but hey, I believe in message is more important than perfection.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times I'll do stuff like I'm like Cartier-Bresson, like totally everything's out of focus and things are not perfect in composition, you know, but the message out there, you know, unless of course you're talking about filmmaking, of course that needs that detail. But like this, for instance, I forgot my tripod. That's sitting, like, if you're seeing this, that's sitting on trash can and the table.
I like it.
And
It's
like,
on a tripod.
Yeah, and then like the lighting.
It looks like an e-cigarette or those headphones.
Those are AirPods. And then I have an Aperture 300D. I have an Aperture in the back that I was like, cool, I'm gonna set up the Aperture. I wasn't even gonna bring out lighting, and then I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna crank the ISO. Yeah. Because you know what? It's about the message, about us hanging out together. And it was on a whim. Yesterday I was just like. Basically, yesterday I was sitting there and I was like, tomorrow's my day off. What can I do? I already worked on my trucks for the last 48 hours. My fingers are all fucked up. Yeah. And I was like, if I don't do something productive, I'll probably just waste the day. Yeah. And I was like, what have I been wanting to do? And I was like, my podcast. Yeah. Hit you up, done, book, let's go. Yep. I forgot my tripod. I forgot my shotgun mic, which I was going to get better audio for the clips, the teasers. Yeah. But I'm going to use the onboard. The onboard probably sucks right now.
It's not too bad, though, to be honest.
I mean, you can pull from this, can't you?
Yeah, I'll probably pull it and then give him the files. Yeah. No, well, here's the thing. I need to give him the files to master for the master video. So what I want to do is I want to pull him first on my laptop and then give it to him. Yeah. So I can, like, pull chunks and clips, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, yeah, so done. For me, done is better than perfect a million times over. 20 minutes left. What do you guys
rolling?
want?
I feel like we could just talk for hours.
Yeah,
it's a good talk.
Yeah, dude,
next time, hopefully, I'll tell you with more time. Hopefully, Will doesn't have a deadline. Yeah, and I can book both of y'all at the same time. For those of you watching, Will unfortunately had a deadline and he hasn't slept. He literally.
Nah, I'm good. I was just late. That's it. I just shut up late.
I beat him.
Yeah. So here, Will was supposed to get here at 10, and then Dave at 10:45 to kind of have a little bit of solo time and some overlap.
Intersecting fields of fire.
But then some stuff happened, life happens, traffic, and then. But here we have our first episode, like just super joint awesomeness. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Anything for me? Anything for each other? Like we talked about the community. I talked about the friendships that we build. Traveling. It's amazing. Anything? I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm just giving you the
terrible
platform.
At this.
So I used to do a podcast, and you can't judge me on like the Raiders. I'm a huge Raiders fan.
The Raiders.
Yeah, dude, Raiders. And I would make like a podcast like every week, like kind of reviewing how.
Die Hard.
Yeah, dude, and it was like so fun, like creating a script. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what translated into the YouTube universe for me. Like, and I have fun doing it. Like, even though like he said about my views, they're garbage. I think I have one video with 1,000 views, and I'm like. I put so many hours into one video, into like 10 minutes of like just someone's time. And it's just like, but then at the end of the day, you feel like, you know, like I'm creating something. And one day someone's going to see it and then another person's going to see it. And then it's going to eventually like create something and it's going to change someone. Like I've had people legitimately approach me via Instagram, like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. I just don't know how. And I'm like, that's your first mistake, dude. You do know how. You have a camera already. You can just do it. You have a cell phone. I mean, a lot of the greats started off that way. I mean, like, just, you know, I guess, you know, this is really fun because it's kind of like a segue into something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, to me, I make work for myself. So a lot of times I just put it out there and it serves to me more as a creative escape and as catharsis sometimes. Mm-hmm. So if you keep doing everything for you and you keep putting your heart into it, eventually it will catch on. And I can tell you the quality's there, everything's awesome. But no te desesperes. That means don't how do you say that?
Don't get frustrated.
Yeah. So eventually,
and that's my biggest weakness, man, because this is so cliche, but I fucking care, and I care like too much. Sometimes I'm like, I see people that just don't care, and you know what I mean? And it's just like, I wish I could have that mentality, man, where I didn't give a fuck what people thought about, like, yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly. And dude, I've been a firefighter, in the Army for, 20 years.
You're out.
Now I can't. So the first time, I don't know if I'm going to talk about this, but I went and bought weed for like the first time in my life. Like I went to like a place and was like, look, I've never legally done this. I don't know what the fuck.
You look like a Fed.
You're like, this guy's wearing a wire.
I know. I was like, and the guy, because there's like so when you walk in to buy, there's like 2 rooms. I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's like one room where it's like a
never been.
No. Yo no fumo, ma. Yo no fumo.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
And it's like, one room, and then they see your ID or whatever, and then they put you through another room. Yeah. And I like walked in like, where's the fucking weed at, dude? Like, what the fuck? And I was just like, I've never done this. And he's like, clearly, where's your ID? And I was like, you want it right now? Like, do you need to scan it? Like, what do you need?
Your badge falls out.
And yeah, he let me through, and the lady was super nice. She like, I was like, like this is what I kind of deal with, and like this is what I want. I don't want to be like a mummy throughout the day. I would like to be a mummy at night when I go to sleep because I can't sleep very well. Obviously, you can attest to this. You've been up all day.
I actually smoked a joint on my way here.
There you go.
I was going to, and I was like, no, I want to be like entertaining. I don't want to be like a mummy. I don't know. I smoked for the first time during the day yesterday, and I felt so good. I wrote a script yesterday. I was like so productive. I was like, this is awesome.
What'd you smoke?
I don't even know, man.
Okay.
So I basically went there. I was like, hey, I want some stuff for the day and for stuff at night. And she just hooked it up, and I just basically keep it in my drawer, and I just dab into it.
Skywalker for anxiety.
Okay.
So write that down. Skywalker and Jack Herrera.
Jack Herrera
and Skywalker are the two biggest.
I haven't heard those names in years, man.
Yeah, that's
those
I'm OG, bro.
Those are OG. OG
That's
strains.
crazy.
I'm straight up OG because I'm very sensitive to those because whenever I smoke, I get either high anxiety or I just fall asleep.
Yeah.
You said Jack Herrera.
Yeah. so those are the only two things that have ever worked for me
wild.
that it calms my anxiety or it makes me really, really laugh. So Jack makes me laugh like crazy. It makes me happy. And then Skywalker is more of like just mellows me out for anxiety. So if you have a tough day or just really, really stressed, it'll mellow you the fuck out. Yeah. And then I've smoked Granddaddy Perps one time, and that shit was like a party. Like I actually felt energetic for once, unlike falling asleep. So weed is not my thing. I have tried it before, but those are the only two things. But that's when my mental health is really bad.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked like in a year.
Yeah.
But hey, if you all want to come back, and I mean, well,
I don't really drink, to be honest.
I can't drink.
I don't really drink.
I do enjoy.
I don't really drink water.
I do enjoy a beer though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I like smoking weed. I feel like as a creative is like gets me in the zone sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what beer does to me.
me
Because I have ADHD, so a lot of my times my brain is going a million miles an hour, and beer allows me to slow down. Yeah. But unfortunately, people with ADHD are more prone to addiction and alcohol abuse and things like that.
Same. I battle the same issues. That's why I don't do any. Well, other than feeling like shit, you know what I mean? Like beer makes me just feel so bloated and like fat, and I'm like, I'm too old for this shit now.
My work.
Yeah.
What are you, like 30, mid 30s?
No. Wow. I look that old?
No,
32.
I feel it, bro.
No. Because you said I'm so old. I was like, wait.
I feel old. My body feels old. You know what I mean? I'm 32.
I'm the youngin. I'm 26.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. I'm 29. Yeah.
I'm the oldest one here. Yes. Fuck you, man.
But yeah, no, I really had to slow down. Finally, I got my diagnosis. I'm on Adderall, and it helps me so much. But unfortunately, the headache after is tough. But it does help me be productive at work and stuff like that, or when I have projects, editing, things like that. But on my regular life, I don't like using it on the weekends. Like on my regular days, that's why photography off the meds. I think that's what I'm gonna dub it too, or photography and shit. Yeah. But yeah, a couple beers, just hanging out with friends. The film bros and I. That's all we do. We just hang out, drink beer, and shoot.
Shout out my boy Omar.
Yeah, Omar and Marco.
Happy birthday, Marco.
Yeah, we're gonna have him here next time, hopefully.
Nice.
But yeah, let me see. We got 10 more minutes. Y'all wanted me to keep going with questions?
Yeah, man, just keep going.
All right. Dead or Alive, the trip, got that.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
We share a common interest. We're both sneakerheads.
Yeah, so that's why I wore my black hats today.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm. Bro, I'm a sneakerhead. I just got these off stock.
I seen those. I was like, these are fire.
Yeah, dude. I actually was gonna wear my Jordan 1s.
I'm on the new wave though. Like, check it out.
Dude.
Oh, 550s.
Hell
yeah.
Okay.
Those are sick.
Hell
so
yeah.
these are the
fire.
These are actually squash shoes, but they're sick, dude. They're so sick.
Those are sick, man. I recently started getting into collecting shoes, and like, it's gone overboard, man.
Yeah,
I feel like I
bro.
got like 40 pairs of like really nice sneakers at the crib now.
Yeah,
Same,
not only
dude.
that, when you went to Hawaii, you picked up like 3 pairs.
Yeah.
Dude, it's addicting, dude. Because like
addicting.
I mean, and so I used to at first I bought my very first pair of like Jordan 6s like 3 years ago, and I didn't wear them for like 3 years, dude. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, these are sick. So I finally started wearing them like to like photo walks, and I just like I walk definitely differently.
No creasing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and I have to buy them like a size small so I don't crease. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm all about a sick pair of Jordans.
Same.
Or you know what I mean.
And I'm a
those New Balances are sick though.
These are nice.
I started seeing a lot of New Balances, especially here on the road. A lot of like people go to Bodega and stuff.
Yeah.
New Balance, they're amazing.
Yeah, these are the ALD collab.
Yeah.
My old roommate actually got them for me at retail too. Shit. So like I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got these at retail and
you got the 4s, right? The blacks.
Yeah, black hats.
Yeah.
The
Those are worth
2020s.
a lot now.
Yeah. So I'm kind of a fake.
I got the breads of those.
Oh, the bread force. Shout out Omar. Omar has those. He loves them. I was gonna say kind of a pseudo sneakerhead. Because growing up, again, I didn't have a lot of money. I wasn't poor, and I never missed a meal or anything like that. But I never had really could have joined into a lot of interest.
My parents would never buy me a pair of Jordans.
Same, dude.
Jordans,
yeah, exactly.
And not only that, like I never wanted to worry them. So I never asked for stuff. I never worried with them anything. So that's why that was a big driver as to like I'm gonna work so hard so I can get myself everything I wanted, traveling, all the food I wanted, everything like that. Now I'm able to go back and share with my family. It's really cool. But growing up, my dream was always I would always see Toro 4s. Toro 4, man, I would see those and I'm like, they're so sick. I've loved Dredge since I was a kid, man. Like I have read everything. But anyways, so when recently when I met Omar and everything like that, I was like, wait, not to talk about money or anything like that, but I was like, I have a career now. I have savings now. Like, whoa, I can actually buy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the things I've always wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
So I started little by little. Started with, you know, a pair of 1s and a pair of 4s. And then I walked into Bodega unknowingly on my birthday 2 years ago. I walked in there and I saw the black hats. I didn't even know what the fuck they were. I saw him. I was like, hey, you got a 9? He's like, yeah, I got a 9. Cool. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know how rare it was to find a 9. And she walks
dude, that's
out.
such a hard
I'm
size.
a size 9 too.
Yeah.
I'm a size 9, but I have to wear 8.5s, dude.
Yeah,
because there's always 8.5s, dude,
the
and they
fives.
fit perfectly, dude.
The 5s I just bought, the Moonlights, the Oreo wannabes.
Yeah.
I got those in 8.5. Okay. But yeah, so I walked in. I literally got them. I even shout out Bodega. I got a discount. So I get discounts at Bodega. So
I'll just drop your name when I get
so I got home, and the next day I was gonna fly out to Austin for my birthday.
Yeah.
So I got the box. I just threw it out. I was like, look.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. I just threw out the receipt and everything. And then I broke my ankle in Austin that day. 2 days later, I broke my ankle. So I was flying back with like my
I
Jordan,
remember that.
Yeah. My Jordan 4 was like tied to my backpack because on the right one, the left one, I was wearing it. So I was like in crutches, flying back, all broken on my birthday. And then later on, Omar was like, dude, you know how much they're worth? And I'm like, no, like I bought them because they look nice. And they're like, dude, they're like $600. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, he's like, well, you have the box? I was like, dog, I threw that shit out. So yeah, that's why I say I'm like a pseudo sneakerhead. Because then also I wore these to Costa Rica and I was in the Costa Rican jungle in the mud.
I saw that, bro. You tore those.
That's brutal.
You
dude.
tore things up.
No, but they're fine. They're fine. Like
they look clean.
Yeah, and these that white right there, that's a jabón de calabaza. In Mexico City,
pumpkin soap or what?
Yeah. So you know, in Mexico they have boleros. You know, the people that clean your shoes.
Oh yeah.
So and then they look beautiful, and then it dried, and then all that white sediment
stayed.
But I can clean it up. But
honestly,
I mean,
they still look clean for walking around in a fucking jungle.
I love fours, man.
You're a Neanderthal, dude.
Exactly. So then, and then it went to like the winterized 4s, and then the 5s I just bought. But I just buy things because they look nice, not for the hype, not for the money, not for. You know, but I will say I still haven't bought my Toro 4s. You can't find it for less than $450.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I love the Union 4 so much. The Guavas.
I actually, that was my favorite shoe. And luckily I was able to purchase a pair this year.
Yeah.
I spent too much. I spent like $800 on them, but it was that one shoe that I was like, it's so beautiful. I need to have it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly how I feel about
it.
I
haven't worn it yet.
Yeah,
but I will though. Maybe on my birthday or some special occasion. But
so that and the off-white 4s.
Oh.
And the what else? The Levi 4s. I really like. I don't know why I love them. I want to distress them. Like I would get a pair and just distress shot them.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like. I like stuff. I can finally do it, but it's just like, oh, cool, it's nice. Or sometimes I walk in a bodega, oh, I like those 4s. Or like, I don't like 1s though.
I love the 1s, dude. I'm so crazy about it. They're my favorite Jordan ever. I have the reds, and then I have a pair of blue ones that are sick too. I just haven't worn those ones yet. I don't know. I don't have anything blue, so it's like. Yeah. But I love Jordan 1s, dude. Anytime I see a dope pair, I'll buy them.
So,
especially high top.
So on that note of the trip, right? We're talking about what camera would you take, everything. Yeah. What pair of shoes would you take?
I think for me, so the reason why I got into shoes is because like I was working with one of my friends named Blue the Great.
Oh, Blue, bro.
Blue,
I see your collabs. It's crazy.
So Blue the Great. Luckily, he's became like a good friend of mine, and we actually became friends because he's a photographer too, and he just liked my work, and we ended up linking up and taking street photos together, and we just over the years we become friends, and. He has a collab he had a collab with Nike, and he made his own Air Jordan 1. Yeah, and it's one of the most beautiful shoes I've ever seen.
Hell yeah, bro.
And when I was working with him, it's like I was like, okay, I need these shoes, and that was like my first pair of 1s.
Sick, dude.
And it's the only pair of mids I own too.
Yeah.
But they're fucking amazing, and they just go with anything because it's like a rainbow shoe, so it's like I could wear anything, and like if I put them on, they look fly.
They're more likely. you're more likely to be wearing something in that shoe because it has like 6 colors.
Yeah. So like that'll probably be my go-to. Those are my go-tos for sure.
That's
I'd
sick.
probably wear those.
Yeah.
And they're broken in, so.
Hell yeah.
So growing up, I was a huge skater. I love skating. And there's this pair of shoes that I grew up. There's 2 pairs actually. The Leo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Leo Romero or Eric Ellington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Leo's first pro shoe. Oh, dude, those are dope as fuck.
Those are the lows though. Those are like customs.
Lows are cool. I like highs though.
Yeah, those they're actually mids. But he made a custom pair of lows.
Yeah.
I told him to send. I told him if he'd let me do that to my pair, and he said yeah. So catch me in some lows soon, one day.
I hate you, dog.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, those are sick, dude. I love those.
Yeah, I know who Eric Ellington is though.
Yeah. So it's weird. You have to be kind of like in the skate scene, but not that I ever was, but just
the
like
Americas.
Yeah, dude, Americas, dude. That and like the I would say like. I know you said one shoe, but like any America shoe, like in the early 2000s, like whether it's Leo Romero's first
Cyrus
pro,
or something.
Not a Cyrus, bro, gross.
Chunkies.
So Ryan Reynolds, or
Ryan Reynolds,
Andrew Reynolds, my bad.
Andrew Reynolds,
dude, he came out with someone that had the fucking diamond,
the little stud.
Dude, I still have those.
Dude.
I have those in all red, and I have them in black and white.
I always wanted those.
Yeah, I still.
My brother had them.
Yeah, dude, they're sick, dude. I still skate in them too. And the Eric Ellingtons, I want to say 2s. They're just super sick. Obviously, they're not like sneakerhead type, but they're just like shoes that kind of like bring me back to like, or the
good days.
Yeah, the good days. You know what I mean? That would be dope to walk around in Japan.
Oh, for sure.
Taking some neon photos with some.
The Andrew Reynolds shoes. I remember when they came out. I was like, I needed those because they had the little diamond stud on them.
Dude, I still have them, dude.
Those are crazy.
They're in my closet. Just post it up.
I was telling my brother the other day. I was like, I need to find a pair of those.
I have them in all red, dude. Like gum
Crazy.
red, everything's red. It's sick.
You gotta send a photo. You gotta post that shit.
Yeah, I will.
All right, one more question. We got about 2 minutes. Biggest photo inspiration?
Oh man,
like biggest photographer?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a hard one for me.
Such a hard one.
Joel Sternfeld for me.
I'm not like
portraits.
I'm not like super like technical when it comes to that kind of stuff. I grew up in the hood, so like we never really had like photo education and stuff. So like for me, it wasn't up until recently like I started like researching like photographers. But as weird as it sounds, I think I'd say my friends, like like even like my you, Omar, Marcos, like all of them. It's like anytime I hop on Instagram, it's like I see their work, and it's just inspiring. It's just like, damn, like my friend took this. This is crazy. Like it's wild, and like it kind of ties back to community. It's like it's crazy, like how like influential like your friends can be, and I feel like we're so quick to like look at like the greats.
Yeah.
And we are the greats.
You
You
forget, you forget where you really come from and like what actually makes your photography, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And which is kind of like piggybacking off what Will said. Like, I wouldn't say there's like a particular photographer that I'm like, oh my God, every time I see his stuff, like I want to go out and do it. It's more like that my friends do. Like when I see my homie like Darren shoot and
Darren Vargas,
so he lives right next to me. And some of these other guys that I've met and I see them shoot and I'm just like, fuck, dude, like let's go shoot.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And just like my kids make me want to be a better photographer. Like my dogs, like it's crazy, dude. Just like even today, just like finding out news like that. It's like little wins like that make you want to be. So I guess like things like that like make me more inspired to shoot. Yeah, I guess would say. So it's hard because I like movies, I like pop culture. Like I like old. Like I have this really sick Nike coffee book, or it's like this really cool book just on like different Nikes, and it's huge. It's like this big, and I just like comb through that, and it's like just like that inspires me. And it's no particular photography. It's just like what you see out of each photograph, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah, the Joel Sternfeld really inspires me. His portraiture back in the 80s is amazing. Yeah. Telling a story, a person's story, just capturing them, but it makes you look deeper. So that's why I take a lot of inspiration from my street portraits, but also the streets and my environment really inspire me. Like you said, my friends and everything, but also like sometimes my crazy brain like has some ideas. But, it's just like, cool, I want to do like the Polaroid shit I did the other day, right? Yeah. And I was like, yo, like it'd be sick to have the segmented, but also express myself in this image. Yeah. But yeah, just
that was sick though. That was very creative. Thanks, I like that. It was very very cool.
I thought about offering that to other photographers. So just buy the pack and then just come through and then we'll do it.
Dude, let's do
that.
So
I'll start doing that, and then eventually, if I get enough, I'll just make a book or a zine or just something or a little project.
That would be sick.
But we are currently out of time. We have to get out of here in 3 minutes.
That was fun.
We'll have to keep doing this again. But thank you for coming to first episode of Photography and Shit.
Hey man, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And I'm sorry about the middle section. I think we missed like 10-15 minutes. Just damn Canon cameras.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We had fun, right?
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Cool. So we're gonna step to the photo studio next door. I want to take a portrait real quick. And
Hell
then,
yeah.
Sweet.
And then we'll head
Cool.
up.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right, peace.
See y'all.
Peace. Oh, that was fucking cool, man.